Hey, it's Kyle, 9.9 Comics with Chris and Kyle. Hey, Colonel Tony Moore. Watching 9.9 Comics with Chris and Kyle. I mean, come on.
Hi, welcome to 9.9 Comics with Chris and Kyle.
I'm Kyle.
And I'm Chris. And today we'll be talking about comics getting released February 7th, 2018.
Yes, and starting with the best of the best, that's debatable, Detective Comics. With Swamp Thing Winter Special #1 it's an 80-page one-shot. I'm really interested in this. Swamp Thing stories tend to be very heart-wrenching, especially the older 80s run, where I believe like they find out a way to kill him or something like that. Anyway, then moving on from there, we have Young Monsters in Love #1, which is just it's a comic book with all the monsters in the DC universe just smushed together into a nice, which is, I don't know why they're releasing this at the beginning of the year. Makes more seems like
Valentine's Day special.
Oh, okay, then yeah, never mind. Still monsters. Batman White Knight #5. Batman White Knight has been doing phenomenal, especially after their move of splitting Harley Quinn to two separate people. Old Harley Quinn, new Harley Quinn, 90s things Harley Quinn.
Slutty
Yeah.
Harley Quinn. Yeah.
And then,
Good times.
Good times. And then we have Mother Panic Batman Special #1. This is the first comic that is going to have Mother Panic and Batman together. Of course, Mother Panic has mentioned Batman and they take place in the same universe, but we haven't had a comic where they've met each other and coexisted. It's a really important issue.
It's part of the
Milk Wars, right. We don't have our cart in this episode.
It's good stuff.
Moving into Marvel, we have Avengers #679, which is the continuation of the hot new Avengers run. Marvel is doing Avengers correctly again. It's picking up. You can't find them anymore. You can't find any of the previous issues since I believe 678 or 677. You can't find them. Then moving on to Black Panther Sound and Fury #1. I believe this is a one-shot for... this is not a one-shot, is it? Is it a one-shot? I forget.
It has to do with the movie. They're
Yeah.
releasing a lot of Black Panther titles with the movie coming out, which is going to bring us into the next one.
Right. And this is all just tie-ins for the movie, which makes them important because the movie's super hyped right now. No one is not wanting this movie to happen. Then, of course, speaking of Black Panther, is Rise of Black Panther #2, which is we told you to buy #1. This is the #2. And this also ties into the movie. And then we have X-Men Red #1, which is the continuation of X-Men Blue.
Separate.
It's separate?
Yeah, it's
a completely separate storyline?
It's a separate one, so they're still going to keep X-Men.
Oh, right, that's right. There's two different...
They're just making a third
Don't
one
listen
now.
to me. I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to X-Men. But we collectively do. This is why we're telling you to get X-Men Red #1.
It has to do with the adult Jean Grey coming back,
Right.
forming a team of the older, more traditional X-Men in combat, and hopefully to turn around the X-Men sales since Blue and Gold have sort of been a flop.
And the new Phoenix run and the Jean Grey run have been phenomenal. Just phenomenal. Whatever.
Those Phoenix covers are dope.
Yeah, no. The Phoenix 3D covers are awesome. And then we are moving into the Infinity Realm with Infinity Countdown, Adam Warlock #1. This is, if you've been keeping up with Guardians, this is your continuation of that story since it's been canceled, unfortunately. And also the continuation of the story of Adam Warlock, which you saw in the last issue of Guardians. And also the beginning of the ramp towards the Infinity Wars, which I'm looking forward to, especially it's tied into Donny Cates' Thanos. Donny Cates' Thanos is mint so much, and so in fact that I bought the second printing of issue 13 today. It's just such a good. I'm I'm probably gonna read it when I get home, even though I've already read it not a few weeks ago. It's just written so well that he's a wordsmith.
Alright, so moving away from Marvel, we're going to get into Dynamite. Super excited for a lot of these titles coming out of Dynamite this month, this week specifically. Dynamite 2017 Convention Cosplay Special. This is basically a comic that collects all of the cosplay cover variants from all of the different titles. It's a little bit higher in price, but it is a collector. It's a convention special, so make sure to come and pick it up. We also have a John Wick #1 Greg Pak signed edition coming out. So this is straight out of Dynamite, not out of like Dynamic Forces or anything. So that's a big deal. Obviously, it's already signed. It's a good buy. Moving on from
Straight
there.
out of Dynamite.
Moving on from there, we have the legendary Red Sonja #1. It's a Red Sonja comic, new Red Sonja #1, but it takes place in the Legendary universe. And she's like a pirate, and there's like a Romeo and Juliet story going on. Looks to be pretty interesting. I'm excited for it. It's got like a steampunk feel. Definitely check it out. Moving on from there, we have Deja Thoris #1. We talked about the Zero issue already.
Yes, we did.
But to add a little bit more to this, so it's got writing, Amy Chu. So the big names, Scott Campbell, Amy Chu, Frank Cho. Frank Cho is the artist on the Amadeus Cho Hulk run, as well as he's doing covers for Harley Quinn, variant covers for Harley Quinn. Amy Chu is the writer for the Red Sonja being thrown in New York City, which is doing pretty well for a Red Sonja comic. It's a great storyline.
I've heard good things.
And Scott Campbell is a huge name already. So great stuff coming out of Dynamite. Moving on from there, we have out of publisher Vault, Songs for the Dead #1. I'm a little unfamiliar with this title, so I have a preview from Previews World. So Bethany is a minstrel with a heart full of adventure, a would-be hero determined to find a missing boy from the town of Line, and a friend to all woodland creatures, but mostly the dead ones, because Bethany is also a necromancer. Captured by the vile Lord Roland, Bethany will make an unlikely friend who is all too good at providing more corpses to raise. So that actually sounds pretty fun. It's like
more corpses, the better.
It's like a happy morbid.
Like a happy medium, but happy morbium.
All right, so moving on from Vault into Image, we have the grand return of Scotty Young's I Hate Fairyland with I Hate Fairyland #16. I shouldn't have to go into too much detail about that. Scotty Young is a huge artist. I Hate Fairyland is...
You say the name, that's it.
Is a huge comic. Enough said. Coyotes #4 is also getting released. Coyotes is doing very well. Make sure to pick up #4. Stay on it. The more complete the collection, the more valuable the collection. Wicked and Divide 1923. So let me fix that. Wicked and Divine 1923 #1. It's a one-shot in the Wicked and Divine series, so Wicked and Divine's a widely popular Image title. And then, I don't know if you could tell what week it is because of these shirts. Walking Dead 176 is coming out. So this is part 2 of 6 of the
New World Order.
New World Order run. And it's...
I'm not going to say anything, but if you read the last issue of The Walking Dead, you are going to be pooping yourself waiting for this next issue because the cliffhanger was ridiculous. Ridiculous. And it's not. It is the exact opposite of a death, which is the weird thing. That's what makes it so exciting. Anyway, speaking of Walking Dead, guess what we got done? As you can tell from the intro to this video, which was awesome, and I'm proud that we got that. But I got my Walking Dead 10th anniversary #1 signed by the I almost said late and great, like he's dead, the great Colonel Tony Moore. And then also got my Realm #1 Tony Moore variant signed. Really proud about this.
I also got a Realm #1 signed by Tony Moore.
Yep. And then that's just it's just Batman because Batman's awesome. And then this is what I'm proud of, even though it's not as collectible as the other ones, but it's personal to me and I love it, is Walking Dead, my personal Walking Dead #1 trade that I read that got me into the comic for the most part. And I got it personalized. I got a Colonel Tony Moore bookmark, and then he says, "Rot on, Kyle. Rot on." It's a great pun. I'm glad. It was such a great time.
It was a lot of good fun. We had a lot of fun at the Orlando Toy and Comic Con. Make sure to check out the next one in Melbourne, Melbourne Toy and Comic Con, and I'm sure there'll be artists getting announced, and we'll keep you updated on that as it comes to our attention.
Speaking of announcements, it's time for the 9.9 no-brainer!
Yeah, so it's mine this week, and we have a title out of Image called Versus number
Help me.
1.
Help me! I'm kidding.
Oh, help you. Right into an early grave. So, Versus number 1. So, it is a Diamond the Distributor's Gem of the Month, and for an Image title, that's generally a huge deal, because otherwise it's usually like a Walking Dead or something.
Something obvious, but this isn't something very obvious.
So it's a number 1. It's got the artist, one of the artists from Marvel's Secret Wars, with his debut into creator-owned property. He did art on Secret Wars, Uncanny X-Men, and a couple other things. And it's basically like a sort of a post-apocalyptic like war game show. So instead of fighting wars for like whatever reasons we fight them now, we fight them for entertainment. Like countries sponsor armies, and then the armies fight against each other for entertainment, glory, and money, like any prize money for anything like that, any sports prize. So it's more of like a sport. Anyways, so the main character is a gladiator from it, and they're gonna find out how quickly and fleeting fame is. And it looks to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to the read.
I mean, it's the no-brainer. We are all looking forward to the read. In fact, you should be buying 2 of these, one to read, one to save and not to touch.
Realistically, you should be probably buying as many as you can get your hands on. Of a
like
lot
maybe
of these
5
titles.
at least.
Like Redneck number 1, I have like 6 of those.
Yeah, I bought 4 of those.
Walking Dead, what is it, 173? Andrea issue. I've got like 5 or 6 of those.
I can't remember.
I don't remember.
Escapes me. The numbers escape me.
I don't keep up with The Walking Dead really, but I know which ones are collectible, and I buy a lot of them.
Alright guys, thanks for watching the show. Just wanted to, before we go, remember to like, subscribe, comment, and share the videos, especially to your comic book friends that aren't watching the show. It'll help them out. It's a nice guide, and it helps us out. We get more viewers, and it helps us get more comics up to you, because we're proud of what we do, and we love you guys. Have a good one.
Have a good night.